Overlooking the over 2,300-mile Mississippi River, we find ourselves in what some call the birthplace of Mississippi, Natchez. Natchez is characterized by its numerous historical landmarks and pre-Civil War era homes. Back in the days when transporting goods by waterway was a primary method, Natchez was a huge part of the economy in the region. Though today we are here for the industry that ultimately sent the economic importance of Natchez downward, the railway. Located right by the river is the headquarters of the Class 3 short line known as the Natchez Railway. Today we'll be following their run from Natchez all the way to Brookhaven and back. What attracts most rail fans to this short line is their unique power, a GP40 and a pair of classic GE motors. We'll analyze these units in much more depth later on in the video. With all the switching wrapped up, our locomotives run to the other side of the yard to prepare for the outbound trip. Before departing the yard, we would take position over South Canal Street. With the Highway 425 River Bridge in the background, we wouldn't have long to wait before NTZR 3200 led the way out of Natchez. About 37 miles to the east, we find ourselves in the town of Bude, Mississippi, an old Mississippi Central depot that's been here for as long as the town is still standing. A lumber mill can be thanked for the formation of the town. The town would continue to grow until the closure of the mill in the 1930s. A more in-depth history on the town can be found on the Mississippi Rail's website. Also right by the depot is the common sight of a caboose sitting cut off from the main line. Due to years of direct exposure to the elements, the white and green paint of the Gloucester and Southern has faded significantly. Certainly a more unique caboose than several that you'll find.
So when I got here, I was wondering what exactly the history of this caboose was, and obviously I knew it was a GLSR, but took a closer look and it gave me my answer. You can see right there, ICRR, Illinois Central. Pretty cool stuff.
Back to our chase of the Natchez Railway, we see our train entering Bude. Unlike many examples of lumber towns, Bude still has some economic presence thanks to the American railcar industries. ARI specializes in railcar repairs. The NTZR will make a quick stop to serve them before continuing the journey to Brookhaven. Number 3200 is an EMD GP40-2 locomotive built in 1967 for the MKT. While most would consider this unit the least interesting locomotive on the roster, I still had a decent time snagging a few shots of the former KDG. With ARI served, our train would continue eastbound towards the interchange. We went on to the interchange location in Brookhaven, Mississippi, where the Natchez Railway interchanges with the Canadian National's Macomb subdivision. Our locomotives would couple and shove to the cars left by CN and pull its load from Natchez in position. The track that the Natchez Railway operates on has a very rich history. In 1906, the route was built by the Natchez and Eastern Railway from Natchez to here in Brookhaven. 3 years later, the Mississippi Central would acquire them. During the 1920s, the Mississippi Central would form the Natchez route service. Trains would run from Natchez to Mobile, Alabama. In 1967, before the formation of the ICG, the Illinois Central would acquire the entirety of the MSC. The Illinois Central, then later the Illinois Central Gulf, would operate the route until the Canadian National acquired the IC. CN would control the route for a short period of time before handing it off to the Natchez Railway. For the return trip back to Natchez, now would be the old GE locomotive's time to shine. Number 242 would be leading the westward trip back. This unit is a General Electric B30-7A locomotive built for the Mopac in 1982. It would later serve a long tour of duty on the Mopac successor, the Union Pacific. UP would retire the locomotive in December of 2001. Instead of meeting the scrapper's torch, 242 would find a new life in the shortline business. 242 has a solid shortline resume, would work on the VNS, the Grenada Railway, and now the Natchez Railway. Sandwiched between both 3200 and 242 is former BN number 4066. Built just a year after 242, this unit is a GE B30-7AB. 4066 would be paired with its A-unit counterpart 242 at the VNS and has never left its side since. This B unit is the only one of its kind that is still operating in the country, making the Natchez Railway an even more notable short line in the South. With the interchange complete, the old GE workhorses would work their way out of Brookhaven back home to Natchez. Here we see 242 leading the charge past the distant signal, guarding the path to the CN main line. I'm going to ease up on the narration for now to let you sink in the sounds of what these classic GEs do best. final clip of our busy day on the Natchez Railway would be on the grounds of our home state of Louisiana, looking over the Mississippi River. This location has a lot of history in railroading as well. Until 1982, the ICG and Missouri Pacific interchanged by sending rail cars over ramps onto ferries to cross the river. While the days of these operations are long gone, Vidalia, Louisiana can still offer a great view of the river alongside the Natchez Railway, heading for their yard to wrap up the long day's work. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching our adventure alongside the Natchez Railway from our nice view in Vidalia, Louisiana. I'll see you out along the high iron, and as always, thanks for watching.